Hey, before you keep scrolling, I want 2 minutes of your time because I want to introduce myself properly for once. I'm Connor, the editor. I'm the guy behind Backyard Bill. I'm not the face you're used to seeing on the thumbnail or the voice you're used to hearing. I'm the one in the background doing the unglamorous part of cutting all the footage up, putting it back together, sorting through everything, sitting at the computer for hours so that the video that reaches you actually makes sense and looks decent. For once, I figured I'd step out from behind the camera and just talk to you directly. And also give you an honest update on where I'm at. It's been full on. I've got more footage waiting to be edited right now than I have at any point since we started, which is a good problem to have, but it's a problem when you're the only one doing the cutting. So my days have kind of blurred together at this point. Obviously I sleep a bit. I edit, sleep. Some of these videos are taking me 2 or 3 sessions to get right too, because I won't put something out there that I'm not happy with. You as the viewers deserve better. I don't want to put out something rushed and sloppy. So if you ever feel like there's a gap between uploads, that's why. It's me back here refusing to cut corners on the channel. There's a good pile of stuff coming, pile of good stuff. And I want each of you to know, be okay with that and know that what's coming is worth the click. And also, I don't say it's enough, but thank you to all of you, genuinely. I'm the guy nobody sees, but I read every comment. And on nights when, I'm editing late, that's what keeps me going. So thank you for being here. Now, let me actually earn your time. Now we're done with the 2 minutes. Let me earn the rest of your time here and teach you something, because that's what this channel is for. I want to talk about saving your own seeds. This is one of those old skills that Amish and like old farmers never stop doing, but it's a lost art for everyone else now. It's the most satisfying thing in the world, though, because it means that next year's gardening costs you nothing. So here's how you save seeds right. There are a few things that can trip you up if nobody tells you about it. First of all, and there's a big one, pay attention to what kind of seeds you start with. If you plant hybrid seeds, the kind labeled F1, saving them is a gamble. The plant that grows next year won't be like the parent plant. You'll get a mess of unpredictable results. What you want are open pollinated or heirloom varieties. These grow true. Save a seed from an heirloom tomato and you get the same tomato again next year and the year after, forever. So if you're buying seeds with any intention of saving them, look for open pollinated on the packet. That one word changes everything. Second, save from your best plants, not your leftovers. This is where people get it backwards. They eat all their nicest tomatoes and save the seeds from the sad little runts at the end of the row. Don't do that. The whole point is you're choosing which plants you want to be the parents of next year's garden. So you pick your healthiest, strongest, best tasting plant, the one that handled the heat, didn't get sick, produced like crazy, and save your seeds from that one. Do that a few years running and you'll build a strain that's perfectly suited for your own backyard. This is exactly how those old regional varieties came to be, actually. And third, let it go past ripe. So when you're eating something, you pick it at its peak. When you're saving seed, you want to leave that fruit on the plant longer past the eating stage until it's really mature. Let your beans dry right on the vine until the pods rattle. Let a cucumber or a squash grow fat and almost overripe. The seeds aren't fully developed at the stage you normally eat the fruit. They need that extra time on the plant to finish. Now, tomatoes are a little special. So I'm going to give you the trick with tomatoes. Scoop the seeds out with all that jelly around them. Drop them in a jar with a splash of water and just leave it on the counter for a few days. It'll get a little funky. That's the point. That's fermenting. That fermenting breaks down the coating around each seed, which is the thing that stops them from sprouting. After a few days in the ground, seeds sink to the bottom. You rinse them clean, and you're done. And then for everything, dry them out completely. Spread them on a plate or a little bit of paper, somewhere airy, out in the sun, and give them a week or so. They need to be bone dry or they'll mold in storage. Once they're dry, put them in a paper envelope, not plastic, and write the variety and the year on it. I cannot tell you how many times I found a mystery envelope and no idea what was in it. Label everything and, keep them somewhere cool. Make it dark and dry, and then they'll be ready to go in the spring. One more thing, because I don't want you to get discouraged either. If you're just starting out, don't try to save everything at once. You know, some plants make it really easy. Beans, peas, tomato, lettuce, those mostly keep to themselves. So the seed you save comes back true without much fuss. You know, start there. The trickier ones are things like squash, pumpkins, cucumbers, and corn because they cross with each other out in the garden. Plant two kinds of squash near each other, and the seeds you save, you grow into something neither of them was. So if you want to save those, you either grow just one variety or you keep them pretty far apart. But honestly, for your first year, you know, just do the easy ones. You know, save a handful of seeds from your best tomato and your best beans and watch them come up next spring, and you'll be hooked. That's how this skill got passed down for hundreds of years. One packet at a time. You know, there's no reason it should stop with us. That's how you never have to buy seeds again. All right. So thank you for sticking with the channel and with me back here behind it. You know, there's a lot more coming, and I'm working on it as fast as I can. So save a few seeds from your best plants this year, and I'll catch you in the next one.